Liverpool.com. Like Chelsea, Liverpool got off to a flying start as well. They're away to new boys Norwich City at the weekend. 3-0 winners in the end. And OK, we'll talk about the goals in a second, but we were all looking as to who will be in the back line after all their key injuries. Will he slowly bring in the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, John Matip? But Matip and Van Dijk straight in from the start. That's a great statement.
It is a great statement. It's really good for Virgil and Matip as well. They've gone straight in there. Yeah. They've looked quite comfortable. They've played pretty much all the pre-season, so they had games obviously in their locker. But yeah, it was great to see, even from a football fan, seeing Virgil back. I mean, arguably at the time was the best centre-back in the world. They lost him for a sustained period, horrible injury. But the fact they've got now a first-class defensive partnership, again, all of a sudden they go to people's thinking in terms of they could challenge for the title again this season. Yeah,
do you think that was a perfect way, that kind of game, to introduce Virgil after his absence since October?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no disrespect to Norwich, but they didn't offer too much in terms of threat. So it was probably the game they had most possession. He got to get on the ball. He had to do what he was needed to defend, but he wasn't pushed too much like if he'd have played against maybe a Spurs or Manchester City. Of course, they'd have been tested more. But so it was the kind of easiest game to ease him into. But listen, the positive for Jurgen Klopp is that he got through this test. There was no injuries, no scares, and obviously they can go on again.
In terms of the headline makers from the game itself, Mohamed Salah picked up a couple of assists and a goal. His inadvertent touch, shall we say, although he'll be claiming he meant it on purpose, allowed Diogo Jota to start the scoring. And to be honest, from here on in, there only ever really looked to be one winner.
Yeah, it did, yeah. And as you said there, he never meant to pass that. He meant to control it and shoot. But yeah, I mean, Salah, he's been brilliant since he got back to Liverpool, scoring goals after goals. And Diogo Jota's another one, got himself in the team, had that big injury last season, which kind of started him a little bit, but he's been fantastic.
This was Salah teeing up Roberto Firmino, who, I have to say, this must have been a welcome sight for Jurgen Klopp, because we didn't see many goals from Firmino last season.
No, and to get one in the first game of the season is really important, and that one definitely was an assist from Salah. He meant to do that, but Firmino, he's looked sharp in pre-season, so that'll do him the world of good as well.
Yeah, and Salah, right at the end, himself getting in on the act, and with a typical ferocious shot. To be honest, could the keeper have done more? But I don't know. But even so, debate aside, he's up and running.
He is, yeah. And the best thing about that goal was the touch. The touch, he moved out his feet with a little bit of backspin, so it came back to him. And it was a fantastic finish from him. But again, he'll be at the top of the goal-scoring charts for sure, because he's just so sharp and so electric.
Yeah, in terms of other standout performers in that back line, apart from Virgil and Joel Matip, Costa Tsimikas, who was filling in for Andrew Robertson, who's going to be out for the first 3 or 4 games because of injury. He was excellent in terms of the delivery he was loading up for the front men, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fantastic, and getting up and down as well. And that'll be, again, another boost, a positive for Jurgen Klopp, because I said, last season had a lot of injuries, of course. Like, you can't kind of legislate against them type of injuries. It was so many. Yeah. But one thing they didn't have was strength in depth. If Trent went out or Robertson went out, someone coming in wasn't great, kind of filling that void. But as you said there, with that performance that he showed this weekend against Norwich, it was fantastic. And again, it's a big positive for Jurgen.
That's what they've got next at Burnley at Anfield. I mean, Anfield will be jumping for that game. Chelsea at home after that as well. As you can imagine, that's going to be a blockbuster fixture in terms of Matchday Live. But Liverpool's title credentials, they've only added Ibrahima Konate, who himself is a centre-half. Do they need more attacking options? They haven't got Shaqiri anymore, have they?
No, but what they have got, I mean, listen, I don't make them favourites, but I think they'll be in the mix. But I think it's because they've got all these players back, it almost feels like they've got new signings. But still, I'm still Manchester City and Chelsea are the favourites. But Liverpool will have something to say in this title race for sure.
OK. So Liverpool...